What's going on, everyone? So last night, we saw the Los Angeles Lakers officially waive Christian Koloko and sign Drew Timme to a two-way deal, something that had been talked about for days. Brett Siegel was the one to originally announce it, and then it was kind of this waiting game, and it was like, what is going on? What is happening, right? Like, why haven't they actually made this? Why haven't they gotten this done, right? There's only one option that really makes sense, and it's Christian Koloko, right? They're not waiving Nick Smith Jr. I mean, that was even in the original report. Brett Siegel was like, they're not getting rid of Nick Smith Jr. because that was like a real steal, a real gem. And then Chris Menon has just been, I mean, he's looked like Alex Caruso in the G League. Like OKC Alex Caruso, like now in the G, like he's dominating the G League. The guy's giving you like 7 stocks a game in the G League. The guy's been ridiculous. So it's like, you're not getting off of him because he's exactly what this team needs. The only one that made sense was Christian Koloko, getting off the center to bring in a center guy that, you know, is a little more ready now, right? Christian Koloko, I think, has a higher ceiling. You know, Drew Timme is probably closer to his ceiling than his floor, but he's a guy that is just so much more fundamentally sound, right? He's a guy that right now you could dump the ball down to. He can go to work. He can make plays out of the post, right? He can knock down the mid-range. You run pick and pop action, pick and roll action. He can spread as far as the three-point shot, right? Guy that can rebound, make reads out of the post. His playmaking is probably one of his bigger attributes, right? I kind of compare him. I've talked in previous videos comparing him to like a Nikola Vucevic type, right? Somebody that, you know, you're not looking to be your defensive stopper at the center position, but a guy that can really make some plays for you, a guy that can, you know, make some reads out of the post, stretch the floor a little bit, but also score in and around the basket. Drew Timme is a guy that can absolutely give you that. So I really like Drew Timme. I think he's a guy, obviously we need to see him translate to an NBA level. We have a sample size with the Brooklyn Nets last year, but it's only a 9-game sample size, and we'll go over that here in a moment. But he's a guy that I do think, you know, can give the Lakers some looks. Question is, how soon do we get to see Drew Timme actually play? Now, at the time of recording this video, we don't have the official news yet, but Deandre Ayton, right? He got the knee contusion, kind of bumped knees. He already was dealing with an illness and stuff like that. We have seen the Lakers be overly cautious with guys. We've seen the Lakers kind of like, hey, let's not rush these guys back. I don't think that changes. I think the Lakers are going to continue to do so. So what that tells me, most likely, just based on what we've seen from the Lakers, is they're probably going to sit a Deandre Ayton for at least a game or two, just till he gets fully right 100%, right? We're not so worried about games right now as we are in June, right? We need him 100%. Say it all the time. I'd rather him miss 5 games so he can play the other, 55 than him, you know, trying to rush back for this. So this could be a good opportunity for Drew Timme, and this could be why this got done when it did, right? You're about to play the Clippers. It would be nice to have a guy that can slot in. Jackson Hayes is going to be your starter. Maxi Kleber, he can be a guy that can play, but you might need that other center who would have been Christian Koloko. But if you like Drew Timme more than Koloko, it makes sense to bring Drew Timme in right before this game. It's a home game, so you can, you know, just easily call him up and then immediately get him some run and get him some action against a team like the Clippers. Throw him into the fire, right? I mean, you're going to be talking about going up against Ivica Zubac, like, you know, John Collins, stuff like that. Like, good. Let him get out there and let's see what the man can do, right? He's a guy that I do think can do some damage out there. I do think could, you know, I'm not expecting him to go in and be a 20-10 guy right out the gate, but I do think he's a guy that could, you know, maybe can he go give us, say he gives us 15 minutes of action. Can he give us, you know, 6 and 5, something like that, where he's just like, you know, in a backup role to Jackson Hayes and just, you know, giving you some production. Maybe he's giving you, like I said, 6, 5 and like 2 assists. Like, that'd be perfect. That's all I want, right? To me, I think just, you know, like I mentioned, I think you just throw him into the fire, right? You could slowly try to wean him in. You could slowly try to, you know, hey, let's build him up. For what? Right? Just get him in there. Throw him into the fire. Let's let him get the opportunity. Let's let him get the run, right? Like, you know, Lakers want to develop guys and get guys and do all these things. And I love it, right? You're seeing them really start to stockpile guys, right? Again, Chris Menon, Nick Smith Jr., Drew Timme, right? You got even guys like Arthur Kaluma and, these guys that are on kind of the a dude era, right? On the main roster, on the G League affiliate, all of that, right? But Lakers also like to kind of slow in, like a dude Theroux. I think he should be getting some run. Now you could argue, look, Jared Vanderbilt's not even getting run, so it's like he should probably give, are you really going to give a dude Theroux a minute? But it's like the best way to grow and develop guys is to just let him play, right? Like you could sit there and do all like, oh, okay, let's wait a minute. Like, it's just like on the job training, like whatever you do. A firefighter, a police officer, a school teacher, whatever, right? Electrician, anything. You can only get so much training. You can only get so many like run-throughs. You can only get so many things until you're standing in front of that class with 25 kids, or you're, staring and looking at a blazing building, or, you're in whatever, like until you're in a situation in the field of work. Not saying like obviously basketball isn't any of those things. I'm just using fields that come to mind, right? Like, again, you don't really get the real experience until you actually play, right? Like, it's the same thing. Like you can do as many tests as an electrician. You can hammer as many fake nails into wood as a carpenter, right? But until you actually get into the thick of it, until you actually have to rewire a building, until you actually have to lay a floor, right? It's all just, you're going to have trial and error. And so to me, let these guys go in there and let them just hoop, right? They're going to have bad games. They're going to have bad moments, but that's why it's on the coach. Like, I'm fine with you even keeping a short leash on the guys, right? Like, let them go in there, let them get some run, right? Like, and if they're terrible, hey, sorry, buddy. Like, tonight's not your night. We got to win this game. Can't keep you out there. Hey, great 5 minutes or whatever. Let's try to get you 10 next, right? Like, again, it depends on the circumstances. If Drew Timme goes out there and he's laying a total dud and he's getting just cooked all game and stuff like that, then fine, pull him out, get Jackson Hayes back in there, or go small ball or whatever, and go win the game, right? But how are you going to know unless you just throw him into the fire? Let him go out there. Let him hoop. Worst case scenario, you look at him and you go like, all right, he ain't ready yet. That doesn't mean he won't be ready at some point, but that just means he's not ready yet, which is fine. Again, like this would be his first game, his first time, all that stuff. So, look, I don't think, and look, maybe it is, I don't think it's a coincidence that they signed Drew Timme last night after, basically the day after Deandre Ayton goes down. I think they know Deandre Ayton's going to miss significant time. Significant time, I don't know if he's going to miss, 10 games or anything like that, but he might miss a week or so, right? Like, as the Lakers kind of be patient with it. So you might miss, 3-4 games, something like that. I think the Lakers know that, and they're like, hey, let's go bring in Drew Timme. He's the guy we like. He's got the size, the strength, the versatility, all of those things that he can now plug in and play. And then again, so you can have him run. Let him play some games, right? Like, again, he's a guy that he's better than the G League. He's killing the G League. Dating back to Gonzaga, the guy is Mr. Fundamental, right? The guy is a guy that, the guy just, again, he's very sound skill set wise. Let's see if that translates. There's questions about his foot speed, obviously his defense. I'm not really, if you're expecting him to be like a defensive stopper for the Lakers, probably going to be disappointed. But again, can he be that guy for you that just comes in, grabs a couple boards, maybe makes a play or two, makes a nice rebound, like just give you some toughness on the inside, give you some strength and some physicality, right? He's a guy that I'd love to see kind of playing the role. You talk about a guy 6'10", 6'11", 235, 240. So, he's got more weight behind him than a Jackson Hayes, than a Christian Koloko, right? So he's a guy that can better bang with the big boys. I think he's a guy that, I want to see them kind of throw him to the wolves, personally, right? Let's go over his stats here, though, for when he was going, and playing with the Brooklyn Nets. I know I've gone over this in previous videos, but again, we're talking about him actually playing now. So I want to see, let's break down kind of what you could bring and what he could provide from an on-court side of things. So again, one of the things that's really good about Drew Timme is his ability. I really like his ability to make plays. I think it's one of the more underrated elements of his game. Now, he's not Nikola Jokic or even a Domantas Sabonis, but he's a guy that I could see like what Drew Timme brings right out the gate, in my opinion. Again, theoretically, because we don't know. We haven't actually seen him. But a lot of the actions, offensively in particular, that you run with a Deandre Ayton, you'll be able to run with a Drew Timme, right? Because his ability to, pop out, knock down the mid-range, stretch the floor slightly. He wasn't like lights out in the NBA, from three-point range in those 9 games. We'll go over that here in a moment. But like, he's a guy that can knock down the mid-range, score around the basket. You can dump the ball down to him and he can go to work, right? So when your offense is getting a little stagnant, right, he's a guy that you can dump it down to and just kind of let him go to work, right? Kind of let him, back to the basket, get some of that old school game in. He's a guy that also can get up there a little bit and catch the lob. He's not like, Jackson Hayes athletic or Deandre Ayton athletic, but he's tall, long, lengthy. You get it up there, he can flush it home type thing, right? So you look at his stats last season, like I said, only 9-game sample size. He played 28.2 minutes per game, 11.3 field goal attempts per game. He made 5. He shot 44.1% from the field. And a lot of his field goal percentage dropping was because of the 3-point shot. He shot on 4 attempts, 26% from 3-point range, which is not great by any stretch of the imagination. Couple things, though, worth noting. 1, rookie, 9-game sample size. 2, Brooklyn Nets and Los Angeles Lakers are not the same thing. 3, the type of playmaking that he's going to get, the quality of looks that he's going to get playing alongside Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. Not saying he's going to magically be 40, 50% from 3-point range or anything like that, but could he be, 34%, right? You look at Maxi Kleber. Maxi Kleber for his career is not like some lights out 42% guy. He's 34%, 35%, right? So you look at that. 2-point range on 7.4 attempts, 53.7%, so basically 54%. Free throw shooting definitely needs work, 62.5% on 2 free throw attempts, 7.2 points, 2.5 rebounds, half a steal, half a block, and 12 points per game, right? He comes in, as I said, plays 10, 15 minutes and gives you half of that. I think that's perfect. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.